some Italian stereotypes that I'm going to talk about and tell you whether they're true or false. After being here for 22 years, I think I'm qualified to tell you whether these stereotypes are wrong or right. Are they myths? Myth number one: they always eat pasta or pizza. I think this could be true. Even though in Italy they've got a huge variation of fruit and vegetables gastronomy in general, pasta and pizza are very much the base of a diet here, but they don't always eat pasta or pizza. Some people go mad for pasta. There's a lot of pasta addicts in Italy, like drug addicts. People are hooked on pasta. My wife used to be hooked on it as well. So I would say it's a myth. Although it's eaten a lot here, I don't think that. Probably pasta is eaten more than in other European countries. But I would say they eat pizza just as they eat pizza. Myth number two: the Italians gesticulate or use their hands a lot when they speak. Now, this myth I would say is true. It's not even a myth because it's true. The Italians use their hands so much so that they've got a language for using. Sorry, that's another thing that Italians do a lot. Crazy motorcyclists, revving up. So much so that they've got their own language for hand gestures. So they've got specific things that only in Italy, or if you've lived in Italy or you've brought up here, you know what they mean. Only in Italy, so not in any other European country. I'll do another video one time about different hand gestures. I'm hungry, how you say, let's go away, or I don't care, what these all mean. So yeah, they do gesticulate a lot. You can see it in the car as well when you're driving along. People even talking on the phone in the car. Here's another motorbike. That's not that loud. People even talking on their own in the car. They're using their hands all the time like I am. So yeah, that's true. They gesticulate all the time. Stereotype number 3: all Italians are fashion victims. My opinion, it's true. I always remember when I moved here, I used to like cycling, I used to go out on the bike. I wasn't really, an avid, like I thought the Italians were. Because whenever Italians do something, they're always dressed up for the occasion. So you never see a guy out on his bike just dressed as normal. It's always with the Velcros on and the tights. Always, dressed for the occasion. So yeah, it is true. No one does fashion better than the Italians. And you can see that in the lifestyle. Not only do the big fashion houses come from Italy, the biggest, Gucci, Giorgio Armani, it runs in the DNA of the Italians. You've got to know how to dress well for all occasions. So much so that I think that they prioritise it above other things that are important. Beauty over profit, should I say. Sometimes in a company or in a workplace, it's more important to look good than to know the actual product or to know things about the company. More important to look good. So yeah, I would say they're fashion victims. Fashion's a big, big thing here. Food and fashion. Now, the fourth stereotype I don't agree with. The fourth stereotype is that they're always late. They're always running late. Now, I live in the north of Italy. And I've explained in previous videos, again, car. You're never far away from a revving engine here in Italy. And I've explained in a previous video that the north of Italy is very German-like. So I don't agree with the fact that they're always late here. And I would even say they're more punctual than us British. And more conservative as well, but that's another thing. So that they're always late, I don't agree with. Italians are not always late. In the north of Italy, they're always exactly on time. Maybe a couple of minutes late, but you can take that as, as not being late. So, stereotype number 4, they're always late. No, they're not. Now, before filming and telling you about stereotype number 5, I'm going to show you, I'm in the centre of Cremona where I live. They've got an old classic car show. You can see all the classic cars. So I'm going to show you some of this before I explain. Check out these cars. I mean, I'm not a real petrol head. I like cars, yeah? Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a massive petrol head. Look at these. Stereotype number 5. Italians are crazy drivers. Now I'm going to have to tend to agree with this. I did my test in the UK, but I've driven far more in Italy than anywhere else. And I don't want to say I'm a crazy driver, because I think I fit in with the way they drive here. But I would say, yeah, it depends. Again, big divide between the north and the south of Italy. That's another video that I'll talk to you about. But even still in the north, yeah, I would say they're crazy drivers. If you compare it to the northern Europe, yeah, you know, the UK, Scandinavia, a lot less laws are respected here. You see it, I mean, on the motorway. I drive on the motorway every day. I've done another video about that specifically. But yeah, you pass by cars on the motorway that you overtake, and you see people speaking on their phone. The hands-free is not used all the time here. Going back to using their hands when they speak, it happens a lot that you see, you know, people even driving around in town, no seatbelts on, kids in the back with no seatbelts on, red lights, sometimes people go through them, so yeah, people go fast as well. Now, I'm not a huge fan of statistics, yeah, because there's lies, damn lies in statistics, but I think that in Italy a lot more people die on the roads than you do in Northern Europe. You can check it out, you can Google it. Again, a revving engine behind me, look. So I would say, yeah, I mean, the further south you go, I've driven in Sicily as well, that's just like, whoa, it's like India. I mean, I don't have anything against the Indians, and I've never been to India, but my dad's been, and I think that they drive a little bit crazy there. But yeah, in the south of Italy, Sicily especially, Napoli, 3 people on a motorcycle, no traffic lights, you know, they don't respect the traffic lights, nothing is respected almost, it's pretty the opposite of driving correctly. So yeah, stereotype number 5, Italians are crazy drivers, they are. Stereotype number 6, Italians have always got the sunglasses on their head or on their eyes. I agree with this one as well. It relates a lot to the fashion victim that the Italian is, but yeah, they always have the sunglasses on, don't they? Yeah, they do. Even when it's foggy, when the sun's not out, it's not out now, you'll always see an Italian with his sunglasses on. I don't know why it is, I think it's linked to fashion again. You've always got to make sure you've got the sunglasses match what you're wearing. As you can see, I have. They do, by the way. I have 3 or 4 pairs of sunglasses, and depending on what I'm wearing, I wear different sunglasses. Sunglass victim. It's also true, yeah, that because Italy is sunny, it's very sunny in Italy, and the sun ruins your eyes if you don't wear sunglasses. So it's for a protective reason as well. It's not just fashion, it's to protect your eyes from the sun. Yeah?
Yeah, especially when you drive.
Especially when you drive like an idiot. Stereotype number 7. Italians are loud. Loud people. Yeah, I think they are. If you go to a bar or a restaurant in Italy, even though people haven't drunk, they're still loud and leery as hell. Even in the workplace, speaking and shouting is not seen as a bad thing, as it may be in Northern Europe or in the UK. Shouting at someone is bad. In Italy, no. So in everyday life in Italy, are they loud people? Yeah, they are loud and leery people. You know, they don't need there's no holding them back when they're having a chat. I mean, there's jokes, I'm sure there's jokes in the UK that talk about, you know, Italians when it looks like they're arguing, but they're just having a nice friendly chat. Again, it depends where you are. In Italy, the southern Italians are a lot more louder than the northern Italians, but the northern Italians are loud as well. No holds barred when speaking or shouting. So, yes, they're loud and leery people. Stereotype number 8. Italians are lazy, they don't like working, and all they think about is having a good time. I'm not going to agree with this one, I'm sorry. Although I would say that Italians are not very organised, I think they're very hard workers. Even in the south or the north, wherever you are, they're hard workers. They've got, what's the word in English? Grinta is the word in Italian. I think grit is the word in English. No one's got any grit, like the Italians have, and because it's so unorganised or disorganised, you need to have even more grit and determination to get things done, because there's a lot of bureaucracy, no organisation. So I would say that it's not true that Italians don't work or are lazy. They like having a good time. Don't get me wrong, they like having a good time. But they're hard workers as well. And I mentioned in a previous video as well, I did a video about why Italy always beat England at football, and I talked about this. It's one of the traits that the Italians have, is that they've got a lot of determination, a lot of grit. And that's why they always beat England. So of all this hard work that the Italians do, all this motivation and grit that they have, they do know how to relax. They live very stressful lives, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, one of the things that stuck out when I moved here at first was how beautiful Italy was, but how stressed out the people were. I was like, how can you be stressed out in such a beautiful country? Well, they're stressed out because things are not organised here. There's a lot of bureaucracy. So to get things done, you really need to have a lot of passion and motivation, more so than anywhere else. So that's why they're stressed out. But they do know how to relax. They do know how to have a good time. Like I said, the aperitivo is huge here in Italy. Just, the couple of hours before dinner. That's my favourite time here in Italy, especially now, springtime, when the sun goes down late. The sun goes down about 8:30. The hours that go from about 6 in the evening till 9, and then you have dinner and finish at 10. Those 4 hours are the best hours in Italy. People really know how to relax and laugh, be very loud. So yeah, well, no, the last stereotype I don't agree with. Italians are not lazy, and they are hard workers. I think I mentioned before as well in another video that in Argentina, if you're Italian, you're renowned as being a hard worker. So I don't agree with that. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching this video about stereotypes, Italian stereotypes. Let me know in the comments, do you agree with them? Have you been to Italy? Would you like to visit Italy? Have you lived in Italy? Please hit the like and subscribe button as well. Ciao for now. Going back to the stereotype I mentioned about fashion victims. Again, another thing that came into my mind or my head was when I moved here, I always joked with my friends, I said, you guys have got a communist brain and a capitalist body. Whereas in the UK, it's the opposite. In the UK, we've got a communist body and a capitalist brain. A little anecdote to the stereotype about fashion victims.